The station was built to survive cold that could crack metal, but it was never designed for silence. The silence pressed in on Eli Warren every night, thick and heavy, broken only by the low hum of generators and the soft ticking of thermal regulators fighting a losing battle against the frozen moon outside. Eli lay awake in his narrow bunk, staring at the ceiling panels. Frost crept along the edges where the insulation was weakest, drawing thin white veins like spiderwebs. He pulled his blanket tighter, breath fogging in the air. The base temperature was within regulation, according to the systems, but it always felt colder at night. Not the clean, honest cold of ice and wind, but something that seemed to reach inward. He had learned not to sleep too deeply. It started 3 weeks after arrival. At first he thought it was a dream, a half-remembered feeling from childhood, when winter storms rattled the windows and his mother tucked extra blankets around him. Warmth, sudden and close, against his side. The first time he woke with a sharp intake of breath, heart racing. The sensation vanished instantly, leaving only cold sheets and the steady beep of his wrist monitor. He checked the readings. Body temperature normal. Heart rate elevated, but not dangerously so. No external contact detected. He told himself it was stress. The mission was solitary by design. Eli was a surveyor, not a soldier, assigned to map subsurface ice layers and ancient mineral deposits on the exomoon designated K317. No native life had been detected. No atmosphere worth mentioning. No reason for fear. Still, the second night it happened again. This time, the warmth lingered. Eli drifted toward sleep despite himself, exhaustion dragging him down. Then he felt it, a subtle shift in the mattress, a faint pressure near his legs, not heavy, not aggressive, just present. His eyes snapped open. The lights remained dimmed, locked in night cycle. The room looked unchanged, but the cold was different. It pulled at his skin everywhere except where the warmth pressed against him, like a living contrast. Then he heard the whisper. It was so quiet he almost missed it, a breath of sound against his ear. Not words at first, just a soft vibration, like someone struggling to remember how speech worked. He froze. The voice came again, clearer this time, warm. Eli's throat tightened. His hand moved slowly toward the emergency light switch, but before he could reach it, the warmth shifted. It slid closer, careful, deliberate. The mattress dipped slightly beside him. "I need," the voice murmured. Warmth. Eli's pulse hammered in his ears. Training told him to move, to shout, to activate alarms. But something else held him still. The voice did not carry threat. There was no hunger in it, no anger. Only need, raw and exposed. He forced himself to speak. His voice came out hoarse. "Who are you?" There was a pause. The warmth faltered, like a flame flickering in a draft. "Cold," the voice said, softer now. "So long?" Cold. Eli slapped the light switch. The overhead panels flared to full brightness. The warmth vanished instantly. The mattress sprang back to its original shape. The room was empty. He sat up, breath shaking, scanning every corner. No movement. No sign of intrusion. The door was sealed, logs untouched. Sensors showed nothing but his own heat signature. He did not sleep again that night. The next morning, Eli filed a report. He stuck to the facts. Unexplained thermal fluctuations, possible hallucination under prolonged isolation. Command responded within the hour. Psychological stress is common in solo assignments, the message read. Increase rest periods, run a full diagnostic on environmental systems. Eli obeyed. The diagnostics showed nothing wrong. The station was functioning within acceptable limits, though energy consumption during night cycles was slightly higher than projected. The system attributed it to heating inefficiencies. That night, Eli stayed awake on purpose. He sat on his bunk, back against the wall, wrapped in a thermal jacket. The lights remained on. He held a heat scanner in one hand and kept the alarm pad within reach. Hours passed. Just when his eyes began to burn from fatigue, the temperature dropped. Not by much, just enough for the sensors to register a shift. The scanner flickered, showing heat being drawn away from the center of the room, pooling near his bed. Eli swallowed. The warmth appeared slowly this time, like a careful test. It brushed against his boot, faint but unmistakable. His scanner spiked, then steadied. "I am here," the voice whispered. Eli did not move. "You can't be here," he said, forcing calm into his tone. "There's no life on this moon." A sound like a sigh filled the air. There was. The warmth grew stronger, climbing from his boots toward his knees. Eli clenched his jaw, fighting the instinct to pull away. The scanner showed his own heat being siphoned off, but not dangerously so. It was controlled, measured. "What are you?" he asked. Another pause. "I am what remains." The words came slowly, as if shaped with effort. "We slept. Ice above, time without sound. You came. You brought warmth." Eli's mind raced. Ancient ruins had been detected beneath the ice, dismissed as unusual mineral formations, until deeper scans suggested deliberate structure. If something had survived down there... "You're taking heat from me?" he said. "Yes," the voice replied. There was no denial. "I need it! Why me?" The warmth hesitated, then pressed closer, careful not to overwhelm. "You do not break," it said. "Others would." Eli thought of the data archives, the countless failed probes from other species that had explored extreme cold worlds, cracked hulls, frozen systems, dead crews. "How long have you been here?" he asked. "Longer than words," the voice answered. "The cold took us, one by one. We learned to sleep, to wait. But waiting is empty." Eli felt a strange tightening in his chest. Loneliness had weight to it, even across species. The warmth shifted again, settling beside him like a cautious animal. The mattress dipped. His body temperature dropped slightly, then stabilized as his metabolism adjusted. The scanner beeped in confusion. "You shouldn't be able to do this," Eli said quietly. There was something almost like amusement in the pause that followed. "Neither should you." Before Eli could respond, alarms blared. Red lights flashed as the station's power system surged, then dipped. The warmth recoiled instantly, pulling away as if burned. "Danger," the voice whispered, sharp with sudden fear. "They will end this." Eli jumped to his feet, rushing to the console. Power readings spiked across the board. Heat output was rising beyond safe levels, compensating for losses the system could not explain. "Command will see this," Eli said. "Yes," the voice replied. "They always do." The warmth faded, retreating into nothingness. The temperature stabilized. The alarms shut off. Eli stood alone in the humming room, hands trembling. "The next message from command arrived minutes later. Unusual power drain detected. Prepare for full system review. Possible extraction." Eli stared at the words, then glanced back at his bed. That night, the warmth did not come. The cold felt sharper without it. Eli lay awake, staring into the darkness, the echo of the whisper replaying in his mind. For the first time since arriving on K317, the silence felt wrong. Somewhere beneath the ice, something waited, and it knew now that he could hear it. The cold returned with a sharpness that felt personal. Eli noticed it the moment he woke, like the station itself had turned its back on him. The temperature readouts claimed everything was normal, but the air felt thinner, meaner. He moved through his morning routine slowly, his thoughts circling the empty space beside his bed. The whisper did not come again. That unsettled him more than its presence had. He sent his daily report to command, careful with his words. He mentioned the power surge, the unusual heat loss, and the way the system struggled to compensate. He did not mention the voice. Not yet. He needed proof, or at least understanding, before he let someone else shape the story. By mid-cycle, he was back at the surface scanning site. The ice stretched out in every direction, a frozen plain broken only by distant ridges and the faint shadow of the buried structures below. His scanner painted the subsurface in lines and colors, revealing massive chambers locked under kilometers of ice. They were not random. The shapes were too smooth, too deliberate. Long corridors, rounded vaults, places meant to hold something or someone. Eli adjusted the scanner's depth. The deeper he looked, the colder the readings became, until the data flattened into near-zero values. And yet, faint anomalies pulsed within that dead zone. Tiny fluctuations. Rhythms. Not dead, he murmured to himself. Back at the station, he pulled archive data from other exploration missions. Dozens of species had attempted deep cold colonization across the galaxy. Most failed, some adapted with machines or sealed habitats. None reported native life that fed on heat itself, until now. That night, Eli prepared carefully. He lowered the lights but did not turn them off completely. He set the scanner to continuous record and adjusted his wrist monitor to alert him at the smallest temperature shift. Then he lay down and waited. Sleep came in fragments. At some point, the cold loosened its grip. Warmth returned, gentle and familiar now, like a presence that had learned his shape. The mattress dipped beside him, slower than before, as if asking permission. "I am here," the voice whispered. Eli kept his breathing steady. "You left. Yeah."
You were afraid, so were you. The warmth pressed closer, settling against his side. His body reacted instantly, heart rate increasing, metabolism kicking higher.
The scanner chimed softly as heat transfer began, controlled and even. "They will destroy this place," the voice said. "They always do." "Who?" Eli asked. "Those who fear what they do not need," the voice replied. "They burn the cold. They break the ice." "They call it safety?" Eli stared at the ceiling. "Why talk to me?" The warmth shifted, warmer now, not draining, but sharing, as if testing a new balance. "You listen. You endure." Others screamed. Others ran. "You stayed. That doesn't mean I can help you." "You already do." Eli felt it then, a strange warmth blooming in his chest, not taken from him but created by his own body. His temperature rose slightly, then stabilized. The scanner beeped in confusion again. "You're not just taking heat," Eli said slowly. "You're triggering a response." "Yes," the voice said. There was something like wonder in it. "You make more." Eli's mind raced. Human bodies were adaptable, yes, but this was different. His systems were compensating beyond normal parameters, producing excess thermal energy without strain. "You tried this with others," he said.
Yes, they burned out.
Their warmth was sharp, fast, then gone. And humans? The warmth hesitated. You are steady. Your warmth lasts. It does not panic. Eli thought of long winters on Earth, of humans huddled together, sharing heat, sharing stories, surviving things that should have ended them. Maybe that endurance ran deeper than biology. What happened to your kind? He asked. The warmth dimmed slightly. We were many. The cold came faster than we could flee. We learned to sleep, to slow ourselves, to sip warmth from the world. But the world froze. Time passed. Most did not wake. And you? I listened. For what?
For change. Eli swallowed.
Command is watching my data. They'll send a team, or worse. The warmth tightened, like a hand clenching. They will kill us. I won't let that happen, Eli said before he fully thought it through. There was a long silence. Then, very softly, why? Eli did not have a clean answer.
Because you're not a threat. Because you asked instead of taking.
Because if you wanted me dead, I wouldn't be here. The warmth eased. You are different. So are you, Eli replied. Over the next cycles, they spoke more. The voice grew clearer, its words faster, as if remembering how to be a person. It told him of cities carved into ice, of light that bent through frozen walls, of a culture built around balance. Heat was precious. Waste was sin. Survival was shared. Eli shared too, in his own way. He spoke of Earth, of deserts and oceans, of humans spreading across worlds that did not want them. He spoke of stubbornness, of hope, of refusing to lie down and freeze. Each night his body adapted further. The scanners recorded it all. Increased thermal output, improved efficiency, no signs of damage. If anything, Eli felt stronger, more alert. Command noticed. The next message was colder than the rest. Your biometrics show abnormal patterns. Medical review is required. Extraction window opens in 4 days. Eli sat alone after reading it. The warmth curled faintly around his legs. They are coming, the voice said. Yes. Will you leave? Eli closed his eyes. If I do, they'll sterilize the site. Then we will die. Eli felt a knot form in his stomach. He thought of rules, of orders, of the clean distance command preferred between humans and the unknown. He also thought of the quiet voice that had survived millennia of darkness by waiting for someone warm enough to listen. There might be another way, he said slowly. The warmth lifted, attentive. Tell me. We prove you're not a threat. We show them humans can coexist with you safely. They will not believe. Then we show them something they can't ignore. Eli glanced at the scanner logs, at the impossible data building night after night. You said humans make more warmth when we share it. Yes, then we make that our argument. The warmth pulsed, brighter now. You would bind yourself to us? I already have, Eli said quietly. Outside, beneath kilometers of ice, ancient chambers stirred. For the first time in a very long while, the cold was no longer alone. And neither was Eli. The days before extraction passed faster than Eli expected. Time felt tight, like the cold itself was pushing inward. Every system check, every automated message from command, carried the quiet pressure of a countdown. Eli continued his work as ordered. He mapped ice layers, tagged mineral deposits, and uploaded clean, careful data. At the same time, he ran a second set of scans in private. These focused on himself and on the space beside his bed where the warmth appeared each night. The results were impossible to ignore. His body had changed. Not in a way that damaged him, but in a way that rewrote assumptions. His metabolism adjusted faster to cold exposure. His thermal output increased under stress, but instead of spiking wildly, it smoothed out, becoming steady and efficient. It was as if his body had learned a new balance point. The warmth noticed it too. "You are stronger," the voice said one night, settled close but no longer draining him as much. "You give without harm." "I'm not giving," Eli replied.
I'm adapting. Yes, the voice said. That is what we hoped for long ago. Eli turned slightly, careful not to startle it. You tried this before? With others?
Yes. They wanted control. Or they wanted power. Or they were afraid of being needed. And humans? The warmth hesitated.
You are afraid too.
"But you stay!" Eli thought about that. Fear had been with him since the first whisper. Fear of the unknown. Fear of being wrong. Fear of what Command would do if they learned the full truth. But fear had not driven him away. The next message from Command arrived sooner than expected. Extraction accelerated. Shuttle arrives in 48 hours. Prepare all samples and reports. Eli read it twice. His jaw tightened. They are moving faster, the warmth said quietly.
They saw something, Eli replied. The data doesn't lie, even when I soften it. What will you do?
Eli exhaled slowly. I'll show them the truth, but on my terms. That night, he prepared a controlled test. He adjusted the station's environmental systems, isolating one chamber and lowering the temperature well below safe human limits. He set redundant medical monitors and emergency cutoffs. Then he sat in the center of the room, breath already fogging. The warmth hovered at the edge of perception, uncertain. I need you to do what you've been doing, Eli said. But more carefully. You could be harmed, the voice warned. So could you, Eli replied. If Command thinks you're a parasite. A long pause followed. Then the warmth moved in, slow and deliberate. It wrapped around Eli like a living blanket, not pressing, not pulling, just existing. The cold bit hard. Eli's muscles tensed, teeth chattering as his body reacted. His heart rate climbed. Then something shifted. Heat bloomed from inside him, deeper than before. Not panic heat, not emergency response, but something steady and controlled. His body compensated, generating warmth faster than the cold could steal it. The scanners went wild. Energy output exceeded projections by a wide margin. The warmth absorbed some of it, but not all. Excess heat radiated into the chamber, raising the temperature despite the failing systems. You are burning, the voice said, alarmed. No, Eli said through clenched teeth. I'm balancing. Minutes passed. The chamber stabilized. Eli's breathing slowed. His body found equilibrium in conditions that should have been lethal. He laughed once, short and breathless. There! That's what they need to see. The next day, Command demanded a live systems review. Eli complied. He routed the chamber data directly to them, unfiltered. Thermal output curves. Metabolic adaptation rates.
Environmental compensation. Human survival in conditions beyond established limits.
The silence that followed was long. Finally, a message appeared. Explain these readings, Eli typed carefully. Human physiology is more adaptable than current models allow. Extended exposure to extreme cold can trigger stable, sustainable increases in thermal output. That does not explain the energy source.
Eli glanced toward the sleeping quarters.
The warmth was there, quiet, but listening. It's a symbiotic interaction, Eli wrote. Not parasitic, not hostile. Another pause. Then, you're claiming first contact. Yes, you withheld this information. I was verifying it. Command's response was immediate. All non-human entities are to be considered potential threats. Maintain distance until extraction. Eli felt a cold deeper than the moon itself settle in his chest. They will not listen, the warmth said softly. They will, Eli replied. They just need more proof. That night, Eli slept little. The warmth stayed close, not touching, as if waiting. The shuttle arrived in orbit the next day. Eli watched its descent marker crawl across his console. 2 personnel, medical officer, security specialist. Standard containment protocols. They bring fire, the warmth whispered. We have seen this before. They bring rules, Eli said, and rules can change. When the shuttle docked, the station felt smaller. Commander Reyes entered first, helmet under her arm, eyes sharp and alert. Behind her came Dr. Hale, already studying Eli's vitals on a wrist display. You look different, Reyes said flatly. I feel fine, Eli replied. That's not an answer, Hale said. They moved through the station methodically, scanning, sampling, recording. Eli answered questions, choosing his words with care. He showed them the chamber, the data, the impossible balance his body now held. Hale frowned deeper with every chart. This shouldn't be possible. It is, Eli said. And it's stable, Reyes crossed her arms. You're saying something down here changed you. Yes, and that it's friendly. It's careful, Eli replied. There's a difference. Reyes's gaze hardened. Where is it? Eli hesitated. The temperature shifted. The warmth appeared, faint but undeniable. A shimmer in the air that made the scanners chirp in alarm. Hale stepped back, shock plain on his face. It's not attacking, Eli said quickly. It's responding. The warmth stayed still, radiating calm. Reyes's hand hovered near her sidearm. Step away from it. No, Eli said. The word echoed louder than he expected. Reyes stared at him. That's an order. Eli met her gaze. If you fire, you risk destabilizing the entire thermal balance here, and you'll lose proof of the most important discovery we've made in decades. Silence stretched. The warmth spoke, its voice just audible, careful with every sound. We do not wish harm. Hale's eyes widened. It speaks, yes, Eli said, and it listens. Reyes exhaled slowly. This changes things. Outside, the ice groaned as ancient structures shifted, responding to the presence of more humans above. Deep below, others like the warmth began to stir, sensing something they had not felt in ages. Hope. And for the first time, humanity stood face to face with something that did not fear their weapons, but their warmth. The station did not feel empty anymore. After the first contact, nothing exploded, and no alarms screamed. That alone unsettled Commander Reyes more than violence would have. She had expected panic, fear, maybe aggression. Instead, the air felt balanced, warm in some places, cold in others, like two forces learning how to share the same space. Dr. Hale moved slowly, his scanner raised but steady. It's maintaining distance, he said quietly. No sudden heat draw, no spikes. Eli stood between them and the faint shimmer in the air. The presence was clearer now, not visible in a solid way, but real enough that the instruments could no longer deny it. The warmth pulsed gently, like a calm heartbeat. We will not take more than is given, the voice said. Careful and measured, we learned that lesson long ago. Reyes lowered her hand from her sidearm, but did not relax. You learned it how? The warmth dimmed slightly. By surviving when others did not. Hale swallowed. There are more of you. Yes? How many? Few, the voice answered. Fewer of recycle, we sleep to save what remains. Reyes looked at Eli. You knew this? I suspected, Eli replied, but not the scale. The temperature in the station shifted again, spreading outward. The warmth was not alone anymore. Faint ripples appeared along the walls, near the floors, beneath the ice below the station. The sensors picked it up instantly. Hale's voice shook. Commander! They're waking up! Reyes clenched her jaw. That's exactly what Command was afraid of. They're not mobilizing, Eli said. They're responding. To what? Reyes asked. To us, Eli replied. To humans. Over the next hours, the station became a test ground. Reyes ordered strict limits. No weapons drawn. No aggressive moves. The warmth agreed to boundaries, staying within defined areas and limiting heat exchange. In return, Eli and the others allowed controlled contact. The results were undeniable. Hale ran test after test. Humans exposed to the presence experienced mild temperature drops at first, followed by a steady increase in internal heat production. No organ stress, no damage. The effect grew stronger when fear was controlled and calm was maintained. It's emotional regulation, Hale said in disbelief. The human body responds better when stress is low. Panic disrupts the balance. The warmth confirmed it. Fear burns fast. Calm lasts. Reyes sent a priority message to Command with live data feeds attached. She expected pushback. She got silence. Then the orders came. Containment team en route. Orbital assets standing by. Maintain control of the entity. Eli felt his stomach drop. They're not listening. They are, Reyes said grimly. They're just choosing force. The warmth reacted instantly. The temperature dropped sharply as it pulled back, retreating deeper into the station's shadows. They bring fire, it whispered. We remember fire. You won't be harmed, Eli said, though the words felt thin. You cannot promise that. Reyes turned away from the console. We don't have much time. The containment team would arrive within a day. Their protocols were simple. Unknown life plus potential threat equaled neutralization. Eli paced the room. If they see you as a single entity, they'll destroy you. If they see you as a resource, they'll enslave you. And if they see us as partners, the warmth asked. Reyes met Eli's eyes. Then you'll need more humans. They acted fast. Reyes authorized a controlled broadcast to nearby human outposts and ships. Not a full disclosure, but enough. Extreme cold survival anomaly. Human adaptability breakthrough. Immediate volunteers requested. The response was overwhelming. Engineers, medics, pilots, people used to harsh worlds and long nights, humans who had lived in places where warmth was earned, not guaranteed. The first group arrived before the containment team. As more humans entered the station, the change became undeniable. The warmth spread carefully among them, not feeding, but synchronizing. Human thermal output increased across the board, stabilizing the station's systems without extra power input. The ice beneath the station cracked, not violently, but deliberately. Ancient chambers opened, releasing more of the sleeping presences. They stayed hidden, cautious, but aware. Hale stared at the data feeds. This shouldn't scale like this. But it does, Eli said. We don't burn out. We share. The containment team docked to a very different station, than the one they expected. No chaos, no breach. No dying crew, just humans working calmly in an environment that should have killed them, surrounded by steady warmth that did not consume. The team leader demanded control. Reyes refused. "This is no longer a hazard," she said. "It's an alliance." The argument escalated fast. Orders were repeated. Threats followed. Then the station's power grid rerouted itself. Not hacked. Balanced. The warmth and the humans together stabilized energy flow in ways the system had never been designed to allow. The station no longer needed orbital support. It no longer needed emergency reserves. The containment team's leverage vanished. Command went quiet again. Then came the final message. Stand down. Observation status granted. Reyes exhaled slowly, like she had been holding her breath for days. The warmth pulsed brighter. "You chose warmth over fear." Eli smiled faintly. "That's kind of our thing." Deep beneath the ice, the ancient city fully awakened for the first time in ages. Not to conquest, not to escape, but to coexist. The galaxy would learn soon enough that humans did not just survive the cold. They taught it how to live with them. The change did not come all at once. It spread slowly, like warmth, through frozen ground. Weeks passed after the stand-down order. The station above the ice became something new, not a military outpost and not a research lab alone, but a meeting place. Humans came in steady numbers, never rushed, never forced. They arrived cautious, curious, and tired of being told the galaxy was not meant for them. The warmth watched them carefully. Eli noticed how it behaved now. It no longer slid close out of need. It waited. It listened. When a human stepped into its presence, the warmth responded only if invited, adjusting itself to each person's rhythm. Some humans ran hot, others cold, but all of them stabilized over time. Fear slowed the process. Calm made it stronger. Dr. Hale spent long hours reviewing data that no longer frightened him. "It's not feeding," he said one evening, voice quiet with awe. "It's synchronizing, like two systems finding the same frequency." Reyes stood nearby, arms crossed, watching humans move easily through corridors once considered barely survivable. Command won't like what this implies.
"They'll have to," Eli said.
"It works." Deep below, the ancient city opened itself further. Ice peeled back from smooth structures that had not seen light in thousands of years. The warmth, now many, not one, stirred and stretched, careful not to overwhelm the fragile world above them. They spoke more clearly now, no longer whispering. Their voices carried memory, not desperation. "We were never conquerors," they told Eli. "We were caretakers of balance. When the cold came, we chose patience." "And patience saved you," Eli replied. "Yes, and nearly ended us." The galaxy noticed. It began with rumors. A human station that no longer needed fuel. Crews working without heavy thermal armor on a dead moon. Energy readings that made no sense under known physics. Then came observers. Ships from other species held position at a distance, scanning, watching. They did not land. They remembered what humans did when pushed too far. And they remembered worlds that had died under ice and fire. Command tried to take control again, this time with words instead of weapons. "This cooperation is temporary," their messages said. "A study phase only." Reyes answered calmly. "Then come and study it." In person. They did not. The warmth understood before Eli said anything. "They fear becoming unnecessary." "Humans hear that a lot," Eli replied. As months passed, something unexpected happened. Humans began choosing the cold, not because they had to, because they could. Crews volunteered to work on frozen worlds once abandoned. Stations were rebuilt without massive energy drains. Human colonies expanded into regions the galaxy had written off as dead space. The warmth went with them, not as a resource, not as cargo. As partners, where humans settled, balance followed. Systems grew more stable, not more fragile. Heat was shared, not stolen. Panic faded faster. Survival stopped feeling like a fight and started feeling like a choice. Other species tried to replicate it. They failed. Machines could copy the numbers, but not the effect. Artificial calm was not calm. Forced balance broke. Fear crept in, and the warmth withdrew.
They do not listen, the warmth told Eli gently. They want results without connection. Humans are bad at shortcuts too, Eli said.
We just learn. Slower. Years passed. The exomoon was no longer called K317. It gained a name spoken in many languages, all meaning roughly the same thing. Sanctuary. Eli grew older there. His hair grayed. His steps slowed. But his body never felt cold the way it used to. None of them did. The warmth stayed close, not clinging, not fading, just present. Some nights it still slid beside him, not because it needed him, but because it remembered. You are slowing, it said once.
So are you,
Eli replied with a smile.
Yes.
But we're not afraid. Neither was he. When Eli finally died, it was quietly in his sleep. The warmth felt it the moment his breathing stopped. It did not pull away. It stayed, holding what heat remained, honoring the life that had changed everything. Humans mourned him. The warmth did too. The galaxy learned the truth slowly, the hard way. Humans were not dangerous because of their weapons. They were dangerous because they adapted, because they shared, because they could survive where nothing else could, and bring others with them. Cold worlds bloomed with life, not fast, not loud, but steady. And somewhere, beneath ice or drifting through shadowed halls, the warmth still whispered to those who listened. Not, I need your warmth, but we are warm together.